Hi everyone, this is our COVID-19 government support roundup and questions. This is our 8th one. There's not that much today. There are a few little things that will impact business that's actually going forward, which we will just highlight. If you have any questions, then obviously do let us know. The main ones that we have are, I'm just gonna here, so what's new? The big thing is today, it was announced that we have this COVID-19, the C-19 app was launched, which tracks symptoms of people who download the app. Now, if you have COVID-19 and you are then told, from a test that you've got it, you will then have to quarantine yourself for 7 days. The impact of that is basically that you will have team members, if they're coming back to work, that may suddenly have to, at a drop of a hat, go into quarantine and isolate themselves. Now, anybody they've been in contact with that I believe closer than 2 meters, then they will need to go into quarantine, but for 14 days. They have to go for 17 days, as far as I'm aware, the people who have coronavirus, even if they have no symptoms. Obviously, if you've got the symptoms and you're not well, you're not going to be able to work for long. You're going to be off work longer than 7 days. Now, the only thing there is that if they are working, they will be able to get statutory sick pay, which is £95.85. You will then be looking at potentially reclaiming that from the government. You can do 2 weeks per person, so you can claim the 2 weeks of that for that person on the statutory sick pay. You can't furlough them because they're sick and off sick. The issue that will happen, as far as I can see, is if somebody is in contact with other people who have coronavirus down the line, they may be off or isolating at home for more than 14 days. If they can work from home, brilliant. So then they just take the laptop or whatever, they work from home. If they can't work from home, you won't be able to furlough them and you will have to do statutory sick pay, claiming back the 2 weeks. Otherwise, you will just have to pay the statutory sick pay. So that's the impact of this new method. They haven't finalized everything yet. There will be people ringing anyone who has got coronavirus from any tests on this app, and then they will be telling everybody who they've been in contact with, and then that somebody will be calling all those to say you have to self-isolate. This is all voluntary, but if you heard last night, Boris said if you don't self-isolate, and Hancock said the same, then they will end up looking at making it compulsory. So these are the only things really that are happening. We had thought there'd be something on the furlough going forward because we know up until July what the situation is. It's the status quo as it is now, but after that it's going to go down from 80%. So that's everything that I have. I'm just going to bring in, because I don't think, let me just stop sharing. Now, I don't really think we have any questions as far as I'm aware, but if Steve has any, I will ask him to let me know. Hi, Steve. Are there any questions that you've had?
Yeah, as Nikolai said, we would do. Just going to say, we were expecting the updated guidance on the job retention scheme. That they said that would be available by 31st of May, which is this Sunday. We will be keeping an eye out on that. So though we aren't able to share it here, once it's available, we will be writing a blog post and sharing that around. I have had a query, which is from someone saying they have a job this is likely to take a single day to do, and they asked, is it possible to come off furlough for a single day as a minimum period? You have to be off furlough before you can go back on furlough again. I have looked into this and I can find no indication of minimum period you need to be off furlough. The minimum period is the minimum amount that you've got to a single day, and then go back on furlough again. That new furlough period has to be a minimum of 3 weeks, but for stopping for doing a single job. Yeah, you can do that. Phone text one day, go straight back on furlough again afterwards without any problems, unless they change those rules in the updated guidance, which I would be surprised if they did. So yeah, single day off, going back on furlough is fine, as long as the subsequent furlough period is the minimum 3 weeks.
Okay, thank you. So that, I think that's the main question, really. I don't have any other questions, so this is going to be sweet. Is there anything else, Steve, that you want to add before we finish?
Nothing else. The rest of the schemes are ongoing. What we understand is the self-employment grants are coming through fairly promptly. The job retention grants still appear to be coming through fairly promptly. We have had a few teething issues, but it's a system they have set up in a very short space of time. Teething issues are to be expected, and they do seem to be getting sorted. So it must be said, HMRC have actually done a fairly decent job in this situation, which is, it makes a nice change from some of the things we've had to deal with over the years working with them.
No, they have been very good, and we have been delighted. And as people yourselves who've actually been able to claim some of the furlough grants and everything, I'm sure you have been too. All right, if there is no further questions, because there really is very little to this week, like we said, we had thought we were going to get more detail on the furloughing. I'm sure that will be coming, as Steve said. Anyway, take care, be safe, and have a good weekend. Bye.